Hey guys, welcome to a brand new episode of Harry Potter Wizards Unite. Today we're talking about the top 5 best ways to give you a good chance of getting access to Wizards Unite beta when it's released. If you're not familiar with what beta means, beta access is what game developers give a certain region or certain selection of people early access to a game to play it, test out for bugs, get feedback, and then develop the game. So Hogwarts Mystery did this in the early access. They did a soft launch in New Zealand. From that, they gained feedback about, what do you like, what don't you like. Now, companies do this because when you're releasing globally and thousands of people are playing it, you don't want to be getting bombarded by messages about, bugs from every single person. It might lead to some disappointment, and early on people might stop playing your game. Which, as a game developer, when you've been investing a hell of a lot of time and money into a game, you don't want it to be ruined by a few bugs. Now, up until Monday, it was looking more and more likely that they wouldn't have a beta. The game's coming in summer 2019, which could be 3 to 4 months away, and we need a beta before then. And developers usually devote quite a big proportion of time to beta access or soft launch. But when they revealed the gameplay footage and released pre-registration on Google Play, everything changed. So I'm going to be going through the 5 best things that you can do to give yourself the best chance of getting early beta access. If you're new to the channel and want to keep up to date with any updates around Wizards Unite, make sure to hit the subscribe button. I will be posting videos constantly, scouring the internet for any information on Wizards Unite. In addition, I'm now an affiliate with Warner Brothers Press site, so they will send any information out to us fairly early, sometimes 24 hours before it's released to the general public. So it may be that we get early information about when invites go out, and therefore by subscribing, you'll hopefully get that information before people. And if there are restricted invites, rest assured I will be putting that information out as soon as it drops. Okay, let's start with number 1. The biggest bit of information that we've had that there may be an early access program is via pre-registration. So this is only available on Android devices, so we can pre-register here, and it has that information is if you pre-register, we may invite you to an early access program for the game. That is the only mention of beta or early access we've had throughout the game's, updates, trailers that have been coming out. So that has to be number 1. Now, the Apple Store doesn't have a pre-registration for the game, and there was some speculation over whether Android users would get an advantage over Apple users. And the reason for that is Niantic recently applied for a Series B funding. So that's where companies invest in other companies to give them funding to help them build the business, and that's what Niantic did. And Samsung were one of the companies that were involved in that investment. So perhaps part of that was, well, if we invest 200 million in your company, maybe we can get priority on our Android devices over Apple. That would be a pretty sweet deal both ways. And that brings me to point 2. Apple and Android devices have different stores, and it's very common for games to come out at different times on each device. If you look at Brawl Stars for an example, so Brawl Stars is a new game developed by Supercell, who made Clash of Clans and Clash Royale. They released the game in soft launch on iOS, and I think it was a year before global release got put out and Android users were allowed to play the game. So that's huge, that you could actually wait a year difference to the 2 different types of phones. If you're really eager to get on board when this game comes out as soon as possible to get a head start on people potentially, I recommend having an Android and an iPhone device. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to have to buy a plan for both of them, so sign up for a contract on both phones. You just need an iPhone or an Android phone that is good enough spec that will be able to handle the AR capabilities. What I do, having my iPhone and my Android, my S8 is my main phone, I hotspot, so you can set up a personal hotspot on that and use your data on your one plan for the 2 phones. That means you're not buying 2 different contracts, and you're not going to use your other phone for calls anyway. But I understand that that's quite a big investment, and you probably have to be like a super fan. So next, let's go to number 3. Follow social media. Twitter, Facebook. So I've put a list of links to different Twitter and Facebook pages related to Wizards Unite. So Wizards Unite, obviously the main game. Wizards Unite Hub, which is a great source of information of Wizards Unite information. Warner Brothers and Niantic. If you follow them and keep your notifications on there, there's a good chance that you're going to see that coming up in your feed, or your phone's going to notify you with the notifications on screen. And it may be, that they have limited access in their beta. If you look at Fortnite Mobile when that was released, they had early access invites. I think it was on iOS initially, and they sent out emails with codes. They came through signing up through their website, and Harry Potter Wizards Unite has their own website. I'm sure you've seen it by now, but if you haven't, definitely go to it and enlist now. That will sign up with your email address, and therefore if they are sending out email invites, that's going to be a great avenue for them to send it out to people who are really eager to play it and are probably going to be highly devoted fans to the franchise. So they will probably be really good people to get feedback from about the game, spotting any flaws in its storyline, any things that don't make sense. So I definitely recommend following all social media sites to give you the best chance of being notified if any of things like that come into play. The fourth thing you probably want to do is look at playing Pokemon Go and Ingress. So Ingress was Niantic's first AR game that they actually created. From that, they developed Pokemon Go, which was way more successful, and now they're currently involved in developing Wizards Unite. Our level 40 players in Pokemon Go have been given access in certain countries, the ability to nominate points of interest. So these are where your Pokestops and gyms are. Now they're giving people the ability to nominate. These are officially checked to show that they are actual points of interest. So if you are close to level 40 in either of these games, I would say just put a little bit of grind in for the next month to give you a good chance if they do only give beta access to those who have gone up to level 40. I'm not level 40. Oh, I'm level 30. Yeah. Nice. That took me to go from level 37. That took me from December. So I've been really grinding. The best ways to level up are obviously Lucky Eggs and Evolves, but that is not the best way to level up now because they added the friend system. Best way to do it, add loads of friends and wait till they send you gifts or send them gifts and use your Lucky Eggs at those times. So you can open up 20 gifts every day, so that's 120,000 experience every day. So if your new friends send you 20 gifts, and that'll take you to level 1. So the first heart-filled, and from that you can gain so much experience, and you are able to delete friends and re-add them, but really you want to be using it at the point at which you're making people level 3. It takes 30 days, and with that you get 100,000 XP, every person that you level up with a Lucky Egg on. And that's what I did, which is pretty crazy considering I think I actually got half of the XP it took me in a year to get when Pokemon Go in the first year was released, because then I stopped playing it for a year and recently just picked it up to get to level 40, and it only took me, what, 3 months? So take advantage of that whilst it's in place to potentially give yourself a good chance to get into the early beta access if they base it on whether you are level 40 or not. However, if they do go along this line, it may be that you don't need to be level 40 for them to do this. I'm just saying that because it might give you the best chance. And finally, probably one of the best ways of getting early access to this is move to the UK or Japan or Canada or New Zealand. So when companies send out beta invites, they usually don't go global straight away because that's a hell of a lot of people playing your game, can overload servers, bugs can come up and be sent feedback all around the world. It just could be way too overwhelming for a company to deal with. And so they usually pick smaller places first to start, hence not US. A lot of games, say Brawl Stars was Canada, Hogwarts Mystery. I know the early invites were not Australia, they were New Zealand. Again, a very small place in comparison to some of the bigger places. And UK is a pretty nice size. Being that UK is, the home of Harry Potter, it was where it started. J.K. Rowling is from here. Hogwarts is in Scotland. It would be a really nice, just kind of tip of the hat to where it started if we got early access here. And obviously, it would greatly benefit me and my channel. But I don't think it will be UK. I just cannot see it. I've never played a game that has an early beta access with UK only. It is usually places like Canada for some reason. So it might be UK, but the best way to guarantee it is just have an open flight plane ready, scheduled for wherever it does open. Travel over there and then set up an account there. Okay, well that's all for this video. Hopefully you've enjoyed it and hopefully it's been really helpful. Hopefully it'll give you guys the best chance of getting into that beta access when it comes out. Okay, that's all for this one. If you've enjoyed it, please hit the like button and hit subscribe if you want to keep up to date with future content. That is all from me. See you guys soon.